Hi, I'm Joe Chilling, weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on Buffalo's oldie station, the Big Wack. Joining us on the Big Wack's Buffalo on the Rise today is Nathan Vitacco, who is the Vice President of Operations for Reimer Home Services. Welcome.
Thanks, Joe.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
I see the horn on your shirt. You know, I've got it in my head. You know, get you guys on the horn and get the work done. And I see the horns on the trucks going by.
Miss it.
I can't miss it. It's great. It's great. You know, one of the things I think, what it was, 1921 when you guys started.
That's correct.
That's amazing. Over 100 years, you've served Western New York homeowners with heating and cooling, and that was your focus, right? So how has your focus changed now?
Yes. Yeah. So like you said, Reimer's been around for over 100 years. Reimer's been serving the Western New York community since 1921. Started at heating and cooling. About 15 years ago, we got into plumbing. And then a little less than 2 years ago, we got into electric. You know, HVAC, we're pretty experienced in HVAC. You know, our technicians can come out and service anything your furnace or AC has to offer. In the plumbing side, you know, we can service kitchen drains, toilets, your sump pump. We have a crew of excavators that can service any mainline blockage that you have sewer related. And our electrical team, very experienced. They can offer any services, whole home services regarding your light fixtures, outlets, light switches. We'll definitely take a look at your panel. And so some things that we look at in your panel is, you know, if it's cloth wiring is a big thing. Federal Pacific breakers are actually, you know, they're not authorized anymore. If there's rust in your panel, and even worse if there's water in your panel, we'll take a look at that. Obviously water and electric don't work together.
You know, at one point, did people used to do aluminum wiring?
Yeah,
that kind of stuff makes me nervous.
Yeah.
You know, and when you think about it, when I was a kid, you know, it wasn't breakers, it was fuses.
Right.
You know, people in those days were taking pennies and putting them behind.
Yeah, exactly.
God forbid.
Yeah. So fuses, also a thing that we're trying to move away from as well. Yeah.
You know, it's, when you start thinking, I imagine summer is a big AC time, but when should people start thinking about their furnace? Because I imagine, you know, people in fall try their furnace, it doesn't work, you're getting all these calls at the same time. Can you go in and check their furnace and air conditioning at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and we try to prep the community before we even got into the summer season. We went out and just make sure we were doing our preventative maintenance checks before the summer. But, you know, as you know, I think we can all agree the heat is definitely here for us now in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And so as we're out checking ACs, if they want to have their furnace checked out as well, we can absolutely offer that. And it's good. That's good practice to make sure you know, you don't want to turn your furnace on the first time and you have, you know, and we're down in the 30s and 40s and you find out your furnace isn't working. You know, that's.
And unfortunately, that can happen in Buffalo in August. No, maybe not in August.
Hopefully not.
But what about, you know, air conditioning units? You know, and you see these on homes, you know, the air conditioners, box-like things sitting outside. Should, sometimes you see leaves or grass, if they're, you know, cutting the lawn nearby, are caked up alongside of that. Can that affect the performance?
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like, you know, if you're trying to breathe through a straw, it'll just almost suffocate the system a little bit. And that's what we'll do when we come out and do our AC tune-ups. We'll make sure that all the leaves gathered up there are blown away. We'll make sure we give it a good wash to make sure that your condenser is up and running.
What about this? We had a situation, you know, and I was talking to a friend about this not too long ago, where there was a power outage. Mm-hmm. You know, power goes down, comes back up, power goes down again, comes back up, you know, 2 or 3 times. And all of a sudden, when the power comes up again, the air conditioner doesn't work. Is that a time to call you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Really?
And you know, our technicians are trained. We train twice a week.
Really?
On technical skills and soft skills. For technical training, you know, we want to make sure we're ahead of the industry. Mm-hmm. You know, it's always changing. But in order to relay all that those technicalities to the customer, we also train on soft skills. So we want to make sure that our technicians can elaborate on some of these more complex problems in a way that the customers can understand. So absolutely, get us out there. Just make sure that your AC is running and we don't run into anything.
Now, we know that you do plumbing, we do electrical, you do AC, you do heating, but you also do a lot in the community. What kind of community things are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely. We recently have created a couple sponsorships with some big names in the area, with American Cancer Society, with Roswell Park, Buffalo Zoo, and the Buffalo Marathon. And really, like, our driving force here is just to show up to the moments that matter for the community. You know, it really hit home for some of our technicians and some of the employees at Reimer that, you know, they've either personally been affected or, you know, have family members affected by breast cancer. And so when we partnered with American Cancer Society, you know, it really made a difference internally and then externally as well in the community. We will, you know, partner with American Cancer Society. We'll go out and do some furnace or AC giveaways to breast cancer survivors or thrivers as well.
Well, thank you very much for what you do in the community. We really do appreciate that. Nathan Vitacco, Vice President of Operations for Reimer Home Services. For more information and answers to your questions, contact Reimer Home Services by calling 716-302-HORN or go to callreimer.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by Reimer Home Services, and you can join me weekday mornings 7 to 9 a.m. on the Big Weck.